Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's review of Yojo Senki. So Yojo Senki episode 6, and for this one, of course the review's up a day late because the episode itself was actually delayed. I think usually it comes out on Fridays, but it probably came out, at 5 a.m. this morning, I think, for me, in my time zone. So yeah, it was delayed quite a bit. And we finally got it, and it was a good episode, one of my favorite ones so far. So basically, just going through it part by part, Dakia is fucked. We saw them get fucked last episode, but they are done. They're screwed. I believe Magic World War Germany is planning to occupy them by the winter. But the issue they're facing is that they're still fighting on two fronts against Magic Sweden and Magic France. So, they then are deciding to send Tanya's battalion to the north to a place called Norden to fight the Northern Front against, I believe they call it the Triple Entente Alliance, which is Magic Sweden. So Tanya can tell that the Entente should have lost by now by all of their estimations with supplies and everything, so her best guess is that they have to be getting supplies from another country, which means the World War is coming faster than she expected. So then we actually get to cut and see the Entente Council of 10 discussing their aid from Magic Britain and Magic France, whose names I also forget. I believe Magic France is called, the Republic, and I think it's just called the Republic. So we see some mages getting messed up by the lame toy horse idiots, and the enemies, the little toy horse dudes, are getting reinforced by some bombers. So then Tanya comes in for the reinforcement, comes in for the save, and her battalion is just straight godly. They just completely destroy them. I thought it was funny how Tanya's like, okay, I'm going to take on the bombers alone, and then we get an amazing fight. It's probably my favorite fight so far with Tanya against the bombers. I really thought it was cool. And then, again, probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire show so far is Troll God and the corpse. That was a really badass scene. And after we get that scene, Tanya then goes in and snipes the enemy comms base. Then we see the Republic capital, and we find out that they are the ones that were using Dakia to sort of try to hit... They're using them to sort of hit Magic Germany on the back end to make them divert attention back and forth, and just sort of lessen their front lines to make them have to support their the rear lines and things like that. Just trying to screw with them a little. So Tanya meets with Eric and the General then, which was a pretty good scene. It was just sort of whatever. And we see a dude thinking about his family or stuff after they were talking about him being possibly promoted or anything. And it didn't look like him to me, but was that Uger from a few episodes back? Because the way they were talking about his family and he looked at the picture or anything, it leads me to believe it was Uger, but there's so many random characters that, are there one episode and you never see them again, that I'm like, it's hard to keep track of everybody and everybody's names when, they're just, 1,000 characters and 995 of those 1,000 are completely just, you're gonna see them once and then not again. So, it's very difficult, but I think that was maybe Uger, and, yeah, and I thought it was funny, the after-credit scene that I saw a ton of people saying that they loved and thought was funny was making fun of how it's still their version of World War I, which happened a couple decades after the real-world version of World War I, but they still don't understand what secondhand smoke is or why smoking is bad or anything. So it was a funny joke for them to make there. Overall for the episode, man, I went through this pretty quickly. Overall for the episode, though, I love it. It's possibly my favorite because I think that the Tanya fight with the bombers is probably my favorite fight so far, and the Being X scene was really, really cool when he was in that corpse. So it was a short scene, but it really is one of the creepiest, and the way the animation and everything moved, it was really one of the coolest looking scenes, I think, in this thus far. And the animation was actually really solid this episode. And the OST was used very well. I love the track that they use in a lot of the fights, and they used it when Tanya was fighting the bombers. Very, very good fight. Very good fight and very good OST track to go with it. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one. And because of that, I'm going to give it a high score. I'm not sure if it's quite the highest I've given this show, but I'm going to give it 9 lollies fighting bombers out of 10. 9 out of 10 because, yeah, I really enjoyed pretty much all of it. Super short review this week, but I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, there's no point in, wasting your time for, forever when I'm just giving my thoughts on this week's episode. Whatever, either way. If you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this week's episode and what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more Yojo Senki, Demi-chan with Katari Tai, One Piece, just a ton of other anime and manga and light novels and other things as well. Follow me on Twitter if you want and share the video if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there on stuff for the channel. That's it. So, yeah. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.